Okay then, so now let's run the trait-based model. Let's set it up to start with. So you can set up the trait-based model with this type of command here. Again, we're making a params object, and we're using this command set trait model now. We're specifying here that the number of species should be 10, the minimum asymptotic size should be 10 grams, and the maximum asymptotic size should be 100,000 grams. So if we run this, this makes a params object. Now let's have a look at that object. Let's see some important data about it. I can do that with the summary command. So there we are. We see lots of useful things about this object, the maximum and minimum size, how many size bins there are, the different species and some of their parameters. So why don't we do a simulation on this? So if we make an object called sim, and we can use our project command to run this simulation based on the parameters in this params object. We'll run it for 75 years with no fishing effort to start with. So let's have a look at the result of that. So you can see that the system does seem to eventually settle down, and this picture at the bottom here shows the biomass density in the final state of the simulation. And so this dashed pink curve here, this shows the biomass density of the plankton, the background resource. Notice that this extends back to sizes so low that no fish exist there, but this background resource continues to exist and provides food for the smallest fish. In this trait-based model, all the fish start off at the same size, but they have different asymptotic sizes, and so these biomass density curves for the different species drop off at higher and higher levels as we look at species with higher indices. So why don't we see what happens when we add some fishing into this system? So if we do the simulation again, but now we'll put an effort of 0.5 into this, well, we can plot that. We see that again the system does reach a steady state, but now the larger species have got knocked back a bit by the fishing, because it kicks in at this size here and affects the bigger species.